pretending to be a cat to showing a new picture of their son Archie. The Duchess of Sussex has revealed more about their life in the United States after doing a sit-down interview with the chat show host Ellen DeGeneres.
Meghan Markle talked about how much she and Harry have settled into their new life in California. She also made a renewed call for paid family leave in the US.
So there you are, that's some snippets from the interview overnight. Joining us now to discuss the latest interview is journalist and royal commentator Emily Andrews. Good morning to you. I know that you've been watching it eagerly this morning. We've had so many people getting in touch with their responses to it. I mean, they kind of vary from toe curling to other people that love this sort of heartwarming, friendly family depiction of her. What did you make of it?
Well, it's definitely a tale of two tapes. I mean, actually, I think this is the interview that Meghan should have done instead of Oprah, before Oprah. They should never have taken a kind of wrecking ball to the royal family with the Oprah interview earlier this year. But this is the first time that we've seen Meghan on her own. I think she was always going to go back to the daytime chat show in America. I mean, of course, when she was an actress on Suits, she did do quite a few, so she's very at home. It's very cosy. We've got Meghan, the sucker mum, talking about Archie and Lily's teething, lovely new pictures of Archie. She and Ellen, obviously good friends. They live near each other in Montecito, California. They spent Halloween together. It's very schmaltzy, informal. I think it's quite winsome, actually. But you do need to remember, of course, all this is very carefully curated. Meghan and Ellen would have discussed beforehand, obviously, what they wanted to say. There is that toe-curling, excruciating skit, which I will come to in a minute. But actually, I thought one of the most interesting things about the show, which is about an hour with the ad breaks in America, was when it wasn't about Meghan. So they highlight a single mum, an American single mum, who has been doing charity work. She's been braiding hair for school kids in Nashville. She started off, was given some free school uniform, wanted to give back, and that's how she did it. Started off with 4 kids, blossomed to 35. She was a hairdresser by trade. And Ellen and Meghan were interviewing her. I mean, obviously, she was completely overcome. They surprised her. They gave her money. Archwell Foundation, of course. Meghan and Harry also wanted to match money that was given to this lady. And actually, that was Meghan at her best. She was highlighting the work of this lady, a very normal American lady who had decided to do something to help her local community.
So I wondered, was this almost like a pitch for her doing something like this? Because when you watched that with Meghan interviewing her, you could definitely see that might be something that she would then want to do. She would then go on and be an interviewer, have her own chat show like that.
Yeah, I mean, she was a great interviewer, right? She was a good journalist. And we know that from when she did the TIG, her lifestyle blog, she liked to ask the questions. She liked to be a journalist, not quite like so much being on the other side of it if she's not in control. And obviously that's what Archwell want to do, their foundation, that not-for-profit, that's what she wants to do. She's building the brand of her as a philanthropist. But actually the other thing I thought was that when she was highlighting, she and Ellen were highlighting the work, this great work, Twist for Greatness, if anyone wants to go and have a look, in the American... and what she was doing, though, was so royal. I mean, that's what the royals do. They highlight... It's not about them.
Yeah.
They highlight the good work of other people. They put the limelight and the spotlight on ordinary people. And, of course, Meghan, as we know, likes the limelight being on herself. And as a royal, she could never have done that chat.
OK, let's talk about the moment the cringeworthy moment you felt.
It does seem extraordinary. Watching it now,
to be fair,
the second time.
To be fair, she's thrown herself into it. She's an actress.
She was excited about it.
She goes for it. Often those skits work because of the reaction of the unsuspecting member of the public. You didn't quite enjoy that much, but maybe more because of the idea, it just felt like it was too forced.
Well, I mean, you certainly wouldn't get Kate doing something like that, would you?
No, you wouldn't get Kate on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Kate wasn't an actress beforehand.
I mean, I think you also have to remember is that it was a skit. It's all sort of like, oh, she was out in the street. No. It was in the parking lot, in the parking of the Warner Brothers studio where the Ellen show is filmed. So these market traders who were allowed in would have passed security, would have known that there would have been celebs and stuff around there. So again, it was all very kind of
contrived.
It was very contrived and very set up. I mean, I think you can tell by their faces they're a little bit like, what's going on, but we're just going to go with it.
And I suspect there might be something at play here.
Maybe something's going on. We are on a studio of, you know, not just Ellen, but a number of kind of movies.
So this interview will play on ITV2 next week. Everyone will be able to enjoy the whole thing. Where does this leave her from your perspective, though? I mean, clearly in America, the response from the Americans has been really positive because I think they're sort of very pro her. We've got some very positive comments from people saying this is what you want to see from Meghan. This is where she was great. She was an actress in Suits. She's a sort of very personable person. Does it change and shift sort of the perception at all for you, Emily?
Well, I certainly think, I mean, we often talk, don't we, about the fact that, you know, the American sense of humour, the British sense of humour, the fact that Meghan struggled maybe slightly over here because she's very American, where obviously in America, celebrity and achievement is celebrated. In the UK, we slightly have this tall poppy syndrome. You don't want to get too big for your boots. We do celebrate, but we're very understated and you don't want to sort of aggrandise your achievements. You're always underplaying, which is completely the opposite in America. I think she has needed to reboot her image a little bit because some Americans, I've been told by friends out there, felt that her politicising, you know, her ringing, cold-calling senators on paid family leave. I mean, look, the Americans fought a war to get rid of the British royal family. I mean, they wanted to get rid of the British royal family, you know, over 220 years ago. And now there's a member of the royal family. Yes, she's American and she's married in. A member of the royal family campaigning.
Yeah.
Now, I think we'd all agree that paid parental leave is incredibly important.
Yeah.
We have it in this country. They don't have it in America. And it's a very, very important thing. Equally, one of the things that Meghan didn't like when she was in this country were the restrictions that being a member of the royal family, a working royal, placed on her. She couldn't do what she wanted. And so I think some Americans, well, many Americans, I think, will love this. They'll love the fact she sent herself up.
Yeah.
Love the acting.
Yeah.
But others, I think, found the... I mean, when you've got the New York Times, that august publication, and read by Meghan, writing slightly more critical pieces, as they did earlier this week, saying the Brits hate her. Has it worn off slightly in America as well? I think this sort of very homespun, schmaltzy, I'm just a mum, I'm helping people, is a very important part of her image.
And listen, we'll wait to see what happens with that plea for paid family leave, because if that gets traction, people could see her in a whole different light. But, you know, we will wait to see, won't we, on that one?
Emily, thank you for joining us.